Hi guys, so today I have an extremely highly requested video for you girls that are watching me right now. So I uploaded a video recently and it was on the most tacky perfumes in my opinion, and whoa, was there some controversy, hate, misunderstanding from this video in the comments. There was a lot. I'm not going to go into it because for me, people that just see straight-minded like this and very narrow-minded, I don't even want to get into it. So the amount of hate on this video was insane. People calling me a snob, people saying it's just because you buy $500 fragrances, that's all you like, this and that and the other. No, that's not true at all. And today I'm going to do the counterpart of that video and recommend you girls some super classy, refined and elegant perfumes that smell fantastic, that are more in the designer and budget-friendly price range. Actually, the reason that I made that video is because me personally, when I watch YouTube, I don't watch fragrance reviewers. I like to watch different categories of YouTube, and one thing that I'm really into is luxury fashion, elegance, that sort of type of channel, and I follow quite a few, and they often do videos on like designer labels, clothing, bags that are really tacky, which ones are classy, which ones are this, and I love to watch it, so I was inspired and I wanted to do the perfume version. That's it. Let's get into the video. Today I'm going to be talking about classy and elegant perfumes that are more of that accessible price range, because you guys know I love niche, but I also love designer despite what everyone says. The first fragrance that I'm going to recommend is from Chanel. Now, to be honest with you guys, there are like 25 billion fragrances from Chanel that could fit into this category. Chanel, in my opinion, it really represents what this video is about. Classy, elegant, refined, traditional, beautiful fragrances. So you could really wear any from Chanel, but the one that I want to recommend is one of my personal favorites, and it is Coco Noir. Now, obviously everybody loves Coco Mademoiselle. Me too, I also love the fragrance, but it is very overused now, and I don't think it smells very unique anymore, although it smells fantastic. So if you want to go ahead and purchase this one, you can. But if you want something similar but a little more unique, my recommendation is Coco Noir. Coco Noir is stunning. It is more of like the darker older sister of Coco Mademoiselle, even the sexy aunt it could be. It's this beautiful rose patchouli scent. It has a lot of oriental notes, some resinous qualities, some spiciness. It's really an incredible fragrance, and I miss it a lot. I have my bottle back home in Australia. Maybe I'm gonna buy a new one because I really miss this fragrance. For me, it was like my classy everyday scent. It wasn't running to the shop or picking up the dog poo fragrance. It was like my classy everyday scent. When I wanted to feel put together, I would wear Coco Noir. So for me, it's super beautiful, really classy, really refined, and it still has like a sexy twist to it. So that is my recommendation from Chanel, although there could have been a lot. So next up, we have Mon Guerlain. Now, for me, this fragrance is super classy and beautiful and refined and elegant, but my thing with this fragrance is that it is still very sweet. It does have a lot of sweetness to it without being too sickly or too much or anything like that. It can still be your everyday classy fragrance, but if you're more into those sweeter scents. For me, Mon Guerlain is this beautiful lavender, aromatic, sweet, slightly powdery, vanilla, tonka bean, beautiful fragrance. This one is a compliment getter from the guys, I can tell you that right now. It is just goes down like nothing else with men, if that matters to you. If you like that sweeter scent for every day, I highly recommend it. And it has this beautiful like soapy aromaticness to it, which makes it very elegant and beautiful. Next up, we have one from Battera Veneta, and it is Battera Veneta by Battera Veneta. So this fragrance for me, it definitely is a little more vintage. So if you like that more refined, classy, but a touch of a vintage vibe, you're going to love this scent. For me, it is really an underrated fragrance. In general, Battera Veneta is an underrated house. It is a classic chypre fragrance, which is more of that vintage style. It has some oak moss, some leather, some patchouli, but for me, it is beautiful. And if you guys liked my recommendation with Gris Dior from Christian Dior, you probably will love the Battera Veneta. It is a stunning fragrance, super classy for every day. Again, for me, this is not one that you wear to go pick up the dog poo. It is one that you wear if you're going for lunch, you're going to a meeting, you're going to pick up your kids from school, you want to smell elegant and beautiful and refined. This is the perfume for you. Okay, so next up we have one from Hermes. Now, in my opinion, Hermes, again, is a very underrated fragrance house. I know Hermes Birkin, Hermes Kelly, please one day. Hermes Birkin, Hermes Kelly, it's iconic, but Hermes fragrance is incredible, guys. The quality, the compositions, the perfumer, Jean-Claude Delena, everything about Hermes fragrance, it is just class and refinement in a bottle. But if I'm gonna be honest, the fragrances from Hermes, they're much more vintage. I actually have 2 in this list today. So that just shows you guys. Hermes, their fragrances are more vintage. They have this more traditional and classic element. You're not going to find a fragrance like La Nuit Trésor from Lancôme or La Vie est Belle from Lancôme in the Hermes line. They are more traditional. But one that I love, and I actually really wanted a bottle of this for a long time. I only have a sample, but one that I love, and whenever I'm going to smell fragrances, I love to spritz this one on. It is Hermes Twilly. Twilly de Hermes. Twilly, 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 Twilly. Twilly is a beautiful tuberose scent. So I am going to be honest, you do have to like tuberose to like this fragrance. Like I said, tuberose is one of those more vintage white floral notes. So you do have to be a fan of the note. Yet this fragrance is so beautiful and it's pretty youthful in my opinion. Like it's a tuberose fragrance that smells a little youthful and playful. It has some ginger in the top, so it gives you like a little bit of a spice. And then it dries down to like this warm, spicy, sweet tuberose fragrance, and I just love it. I think it's super classy, really beautiful, and for everyday use, if you want to smell a little vintage and very classy and refined, Twilly is the one for you. Okay, so next up we have one from Narciso Rodriguez, and can you guys guess? I've talked about this fragrance a lot, and actually a lot of you guys have bought it and tagged me in your Instagram stories. By the way, I adore when you guys do this and you put on something on your Instagram story and tag me. It makes my heart so happy to see. Really, really it does. And then I end up getting into a conversation with you guys and it's amazing. Anyways, one fragrance from Narciso Rodriguez, I'm sure you guys know what I'm gonna say, is Pure Musk for her. Now, in my opinion, this is the best from Narciso Rodriguez when it comes to a musk. They have the Narciso Rodriguez for her, the Eau de Toilette, the Fleur Musk, the this musk, the that. But for me, the Pure Musk is the most beautiful and most simple fragrance, and it is just simply stunning. It is a beautiful, soft and creamy and slightly floral musk scent. There is a bit of a sweetness there, but it just is a sort of fragrance that it wraps you. Like it makes you feel so cozy and wrapped without being heavy or sweet or sickly. It is just stunning. It's like a cashmere scarf. I love to describe fragrances as cashmere scarf because I feel like in your head, it really makes sense. It's something that wraps you, it's warm, it's very soft and luxurious smelling. So for me, Pure Musk for her, easy everyday fragrance if you want to smell classy, refined and luxurious. Next up is one that I haven't spoken about for a long time, and it is Flora Botanica from Balenciaga. For me, this one is more like that kind of trendy girl fragrance. Flora Botanica is a gorgeous, fresh, crisp, green, floral rose scent. It has a touch of sweetness, this kind of minty spice to it, and it's super, super long lasting, which for me is the best thing about the fragrance. It lasts forever on my skin personally, like all day. Like I said, it's a rose fragrance, but it's kind of like a watery, spicy, green, fresh rose scent, and it is just beautiful. For me, like I said, it's very like trendy. It's fun, it's trendy, it's attention grabbing, it's not too vulgar or sexy or anything like that. It's just gorgeous. So for me, every day, this one is fantastic. Okay, so next up is one that I actually have. I only have one fragrance with me in this list, and it is this beauty right here. This is from Christian Dior, and it is Miss Dior Le Parfum. Now, there's a lot of fragrances from Dior that could have been into this list, like Pure Poison, Miss Dior, some of the other ones from this line. You could have Dior Homme Intense. It's a beautiful fragrance, but for me, Miss Dior Le Parfum, it definitely has a vintage vibe. So you do have to appreciate your more beautiful, classic type of fragrances, because for me, it smells really, really classic. It is this gorgeous, citrusy, fresh, juicy, patchouli rose scent. It has some sweetness underneath, like some ambery dark sweetness, but it has that spiciness, the rose, the orange. It is just fantastic, and it has, like I said, that underlying kind of vintage smell to it. For me, beautiful. I really see this on, and dare I say, I see it on a mum. I'm not sure why, but I just see this fragrance on a really put together mum. And for me, it's just gorgeous. I love it. Actually, Pierre likes this one a lot, which is nice. And yeah, for me, it's one of the most beautiful, classy, elegant, refined fragrances that you can wear every day. Okay, so next up we have one from Valentino, and it is Valentino Donna. Now, for me, this fragrance is just beautiful. It is just beautiful. It is a rose, iris, sweet, feminine fragrance that I just think is gorgeous. It has a little bit of that lipsticky iris vibe, but not too much. The rose is still there. It's beautiful. It has a little bit of a sweetness to it. Ultra feminine, ultra beautiful, ultra elegant. And for me, every day you could wear this fragrance. Every day going to lunch, going to a meeting, running errands, you can wear this scent. Valentino Donna. Okay, so next up is one from Prada. And for me, Prada does some very beautiful everyday fragrances. I was thinking of putting Prada Amber, Prada Infusion d'Iris. I didn't know which one to put, but if I could think about mass appealing of what I think a lot of you girls would enjoy, it's Prada La Femme. Prada La Femme is this gorgeous soapy floral fragrance. There's a touch of sweetness in there. It's very luxurious smelling. It has some frangipani, which personally I love the scent of frangipani, and it has some tuberose, some honey, some beeswax. It is just gorgeous. Really, like I said, it's floral, it's mature, it's elegant, it's smooth, it's creamy, and it has this really like clean and soapy vibe to it. Prada La Femme, definitely one of the best everyday fragrances that you can wear if you want to smell more upper class and refined. So next up we have one from Maison Margiela, which is a designer brand if you guys didn't know. And the fragrance that I'm going to recommend is Lipstick On. Now this fragrance is for the person who likes their powdery scents. You really have to love your powdery fragrances to enjoy this one because it's very, very powdery. It is an iris based scent, and in my personal opinion, iris in fragrances, it smells classy. I don't know why, it's just that kind of powdery, vintage, creamy vibe that gives you that little lipsticky touch. And for me, iris is just one of the most classiest, refined fragrance notes. It's just beautiful in scents, and I personally am a big fan of iris. I never used to be, but now I'm a big fan of it. So Lipstick On, like I said, it's very powdery. It has a sweetness from some tonka bean and some vanilla. It has some heliotrope. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous scent, but you have to like your very powdery fragrances. So for me, this one is incredible for every day. Definitely if you're a little more like what I'm wearing right now, like a little blazer or something like this, it's perfect. I wouldn't say to wear it like to the grocery store or something like that. It is more of your upper class, everyday sort of scent, but for me, it is fantastic. Next up, I am super excited to talk about this fragrance because I made a revelation this year that there is a super, super affordable fragrance that smells a little bit, un petit peu, a little bit similar to one of my favorite Fragrance du Bois fragrances called Santal Complete. The fragrance is called Calvin Klein CK Into You For Her. Obviously, everything is going to be linked and you'll see a photo. But guys, I have a friend in Dubai that wears this fragrance, and I swear to you, I'm not sure if my nose was really weird this day, but I went to her and I said, are you wearing like one of my favorite fragrances? And she goes, I'm wearing a Calvin Klein. And I was like, really? It smells literally the same as one of my favorite perfumes, which is like $300. And she was like, nope. And this girl, she's more like, she has like 3 fragrances, one from Dior, one from Calvin Klein, and one from Guerlain or something like this. So this fragrance to me, guys, it is crazy, but for me, it smells a little bit similar to Santal Complete in the air, in the sillage. You get a little bit of the Santal Complete vibe, and oh my god, does it smell fantastic. And this is one of the best fragrances from Calvin Klein. I have since then went to the store to try it, and if you smell it really up close, it doesn't smell as similar, but in the air, whoa, in the air, like the sillage and the projection of it, it really has this vibe of Santal Complete. It's this citrusy, grapefruit, soft vanilla scent. And Santal Complete is kind of the same. It has vanilla, coconut, some citrus. They have a very similar DNA. So honestly, guys, if you cannot afford the Santal Complete, try out the Calvin Klein because it is incredible. And for me, it smells, I smelled it and I mistaked it for a $300 fragrance. So really, it smells fantastic. And yeah, I'm in love. Okay, so next up we have another one from Hermes, and it is Kelly Kalesh Eau de Parfum. Now, I recently smelled this fragrance. I actually went yesterday to the mall. I needed to get something from Zara, and I went into Hermes and I went to smell Kelly Kalesh, and I remember smelling it a long time ago. And when I re-smelled it, I was like, wow, I have to buy a bottle of this. It is a fantastic fragrance. You know what always put me off about this scent is that I would always look at the notes, etc., and there is leather in the scent, and I hate leather. But in Kelly Kalesh, I do not smell the leather. For me, I don't get any nuances of leather, so I don't even know why it says it's one of the most prominent notes, because for me, it is this beautiful, elegant, rose, fresh. It has a hint of leather underneath, but it is just gorgeous. Guys, if you don't know this fragrance and you want something more mature, elegant, refined, a little fresh as well, you have to try this fragrance, Kelly Kalesh Eau de Parfum from Hermes. It is fantastic. I'm actually thinking of buying myself a bottle, but really it's wow. I did not expect it to be like this. Like, I really didn't expect this fragrance to be so good, and it's amazing. So Kelly Kalesh from Hermes. And the final fragrance is from Hanae Mori. I think that's how you pronounce it. And it is just the Hanae Mori by Hanae Mori. To be honest with you guys, I completely forgot about this fragrance, but I was going through my samples and I found it, and I remembered how much I really enjoyed this fragrance. It is kind of similar, and a lot of people think this, to Ylang Gold from Martin Micallef, which is one of my favorites. And it is sort of similar. It has that woody, sandalwood, creamy, sweet, a little fruity, that little plasticky note to it. And for me, it is a really, really good fragrance. For the price, it is fantastic. It doesn't smell overly synthetic or too sweet or too heavy. It's a beautiful, sweet, vanilla, slightly fruity, woody, creamy scent that is just gorgeous. So if you're on a budget and you want something similar to Ylang Gold from Martin Micallef, Hanae Mori, they're not the exact same at all, but they do have a similar vibe. So yeah, that is my final recommendation. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video of how to smell classy and elegant when maybe you have a budget between a certain amount. I know not everything in this list was super cheap. We had like 3 fragrances that were more on the very affordable side, but the rest of the recommendations are more in that designer realm. But I still want to recommend you guys beautiful fragrances, high-end fragrances, etc. So I hope that you enjoyed this video and you didn't mind the list. Thank you for watching, guys, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.